just got up off the couch? She did. Hello, friends. My name is Brittany of BrittanyJJones.com. If this is your first time tuning in to a Sewing 30 Live here on YouTube, welcome. I hope that you would be inspired to use whatever time that you have, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour, to just make progress on a sewing project. Now, today I'm actually not sewing, but I have like a fun thing that I think will be really good, especially if you want to start sewing, if you are maybe getting back into sewing. I wanted to kind of go over some must-haves and also some things that you don't really need to get. Okay. Hello, welcome. Hello, replay viewers. Welcome, welcome. I am so excited to be here. Welcome to another Thursday. Hello, hello. Listen, I'm gonna be completely honest. While I am excited to be here, I was just on the couch until 11:58. Okay, it's just one of them days, y'all. It's just one of them days. It's just one. Okay. But I'm still happy to be here. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If y'all can hear me, please let me know. Give me a thumbs up or just push number one, whichever easier. A thumbs up of number one if you can hear me and see me just fine. I'm actually editing. I'm editing. I'm in deep so long. Thank you all so much for putting the ones. I'm in deep so long in editing mode. So it took me 3 days to work on. I'm gonna show you the pattern, but I promise you it doesn't take 3 days to make, okay? It takes me longer when I am sewing and filming because obviously the constant stopping, but you can definitely do this in less than 3 days. And plus I had interruptions, the kids are here, and Hubs was here like a couple days early than he normally is. But just finished sewing my new dress. Well, I made this for Justice. This is Justice size. But I love, love, love the way it turned out. Thank you so much. Is it Kishna? Kishna? Thank you so much. Thank you. So this is Know Me 2133. I made this one here on the cover in a denim, but this one here I made it in a chambray. So it's much more lightweight, which I enjoy for the sew along because I can get through it a lot easier without having to switch my needles, use, the different machine for top stitching. So just finished this. I'm editing it. It's 180 clips of footage to edit. Kishna, okay. It's 180 clips, y'all. I'm like, why did it take all of that, Brittany? But anywho, welcome everyone. I'm so excited to have y'all here. So today, like I said, I'm not going to be doing any sewing because I am editing, but I have some things here. You probably can't see it. We're going to play a little game, and I'm hoping that this will be a really great video for people who are learning to sew or want to start sewing. So I'm going to hold up some tools, and you all are going to tell me if it's a need or if it's something that you can get later. So all you have to do is type need or later, all right? Need or later. And again, I'm really hoping that this will be something that if you are new to sewing, it'll just kind of cut down on what you feel like you need to get. It can be really overwhelming, especially if you're going into Walmart and other craft stores. We don't have Julian anymore, but Michael's. You saw me on Simplicity website. Oh, thank you. They didn't even tell me they was going to use that picture. They told me like after it was already up, and I was like, where y'all find this photo at? It's like 2 years old, girl. I don't have the brown tips on my hair no more. But it was all good. Thank you. I'm so glad that you saw it. I was honored to be featured. But let's go ahead and get started, friends. I'm gonna hold up some things. It's up to you all to let me know if it's a must-have, if you're just starting to sew, or if it's something that you can buy later. Okay, so all you have to do is type need or later, all right? Here we go. First of all, do y'all even know what this is? Do you know what this is? Okay, Latoya says need later. Okay. So we have two needs too. All right, we have some needs, we have some laters. No, we have a lot of people saying later. So this is a clapper. This right here is something that is, I think a lot of people use it maybe in tailoring, maybe with wool jackets. And after you apply steam, you put this on the seam and that helps to set it in, give you a really nice, set, clean, crisp seam. And so this is what that is. A lot of people say that you can get it later, which honestly, if you're not sewing a wool jacket immediately, I do think it's something that you can probably invest in a little bit later, my opinion. But I do respect those of you that said need, because I mean, hey, depending on who you are, you may need it. But this is a clapper. So this is what this is. If you see this, they also have it where it's a little, I've seen another one where it's something on top of it. And that also kind of helps to poke out corners on the end. You all know what I'm talking about. So again, this is a clapper. And my friends here say this is something that you can hold off buying if you're just starting to sew. So if you see it, you don't need it immediately, all right? Next up. Do we know what this is? Is it a need or something that we can get later, friends? All right, Patricia says need. What do we think? Need, freight check, need. Okay, yes. I'm gonna have to agree, and here's why. When you're just starting out sewing, yeah, you may not start working on buttonholes and things like that, but I feel like it's something that you will probably get to maybe within a month or so. You may try to test it out. Having this is going to help reduce the fraying once you cut the buttonhole open. So I definitely think this is something you should probably go ahead and grab. And it's inexpensive. You're not going to, spend as much money on this. Fraying is a nightmare. Exactly. Nobody wants it. Nobody wants it. Buttonhole, yeah, nobody wants this. I mean, nobody wants the fraying. So definitely go ahead and grab you some fray check. I definitely think, again, it's not that expensive. It's something you can go ahead and grab. That way, when you are ready to start doing buttonholes, you already have it. You already have it, okay? All right, moving on, friends. Y'all are doing great. Y'all are doing great helping out the people. I appreciate this, friends. Now, this may look different from what other people have. Oh, some people say later. Okay, later. You shouldn't believe how long before I bought. All right, friends. This right here. Now, this may look a little different, but this is a point turner. Point turner. What do we think, friends? Ooh, we got a mix. We have some later and we have some needs. This is a point turner. Point turner. I'm gonna be honest, I did not get this. Ooh, I love that, Law. Use a chopstick. I love that. I did not get a point turner. It was a while before I got it, and I actually used a little pin to help kind of pull out the corners. So a point turner, friends, use pins. You can absolutely use a pen, so it's not something that you need to go ahead and grab, but I love that chopstick idea. I love that, y'all. So point turner, something that you can wait to purchase. You do not have to, you see it, you don't got to get it the first thing, okay? You don't have to get it immediately, friends. You just don't, all right? Y'all are doing great with this. I'm so excited. I hope that if you're tuning in, today we're just going over some sewing tools, and you all are telling me if it's something that you need to purchase immediately or if it's something that you can get later on. I really want to help those of us those who are new to sewing, just kind of eliminate some of the overwhelm that you may experience when you're walking into a fabric store, a Michael's or Walmart, or even when you're ordering offline. It can be a lot online too. So next up, friends, this is a good one. And I have two options. Pattern weights. Is it a need or can we get this later? Pattern weights, need or later, need or later. What do we think? Okay, Law says later. We got some needs. Joyce says need. Latoya, okay, we have some needs and we have some later. It's definitely need. All right. Now, when I first started sewing, I was using stuff around the house. I'll be honest. I was using like some cans. I was using anything. I was using whatever I could get to hold the pattern down. So I do think it's definitely one of those, if you don't get specific pattern weights, you do need something to hold the pattern down. A lot of people, I think when I started, I used pins at the corners. So that's an option too. So I definitely think it's it depends on if you want it. You will need it something eventually. So either you get a pattern weight specifically or you find something around the house. But these right here are washers. I love these washers. When I found Mimi online, I think I found Mimi online maybe around the middle or end of 2014. But she put me on to washers. And these are just some really big washers that I found at Lowe's. They come in a pack. They come in a pack and they last forever, okay? And so this is what I use. I also have these. These are pattern weights that Raven Marine makes. She makes these and she sells them in her Etsy shop. I love how thick they are. Hold up, we got some comments. Let me go back up. I don't want to miss anybody. Yeah, you can definitely use some things around the house for sure, or pin the corners. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Ooh, I wrap my washers in ribbons. Oh, that's cute. I've seen some people do that. That's so cute, Lynette. That's a really cute idea. I like that. Okay, friends, we're on a roll. We're on a roll, and I'm excited. All right, this one next. Pinking shears. Is it a need, or can the new people that are interested in sewing get this later? Is it a need or something they can get later? Pinking shears. What do we think? Need or later? Yeah, I'm leaning towards need. I'm leaning towards need because when you're just starting out sewing, you're probably not going to get a serger. You're probably not going to get, you're not going to, in my opinion, if you're just starting out sewing and you just bought a machine for sewing, you're probably not going to buy a machine for serging. And then there's also other things that you can do with pinking shears other than just finish off, your raw edge. So I do think these are a need just to kind of help true things up. Or you can always just use a zigzag stitch on your sewing machine. But again, I do think having these are a need, especially if you're just starting to sew. Okay, that's my opinion. I feel like my friends here agree as well. Need, yeah. Okay, well, hold on, we have one later. Okay. It's a mix. Lisa said later. Okay. Peak, I think I have 2 or 3. Like, girl, I don't think you need that much. Okay. So, pinking shears. Some majority say need. We did have some that said later. All right, friends, here we go. Nice little ham here. What y'all think? Is it a need or can we get this later? A need or can we get this later, friend? Is this something that we need to get when we're just starting to sew, or is it something that we can get a little bit later? What do we think? What do we think? Need or later? You're making yours. Are you making a ham? That's, you know what? I have seen like some templates online where people make theirs. I don't know, what do they fill this with? I don't know what it's filled with, but yeah. Okay, a lot of people say later, a lot of people say need. I love that. I have different, like, we see the value. I won't say value, but we see the immediate need and like, we can hold off on it. But I love this. Obviously, it's going to help sawdust. I love this because you can definitely keep the shape of curves, like around the bust curve, the hip curve. Yeah, Janine said need, but later. Yeah, I feel like most of you may want to consider it, but again, I do think it's something you can probably get later. You can always use a towel or something to kind of keep that shape, around the bust curve, around the hip, and the shoulder. Don't forget the shoulder too. It's great for that too. So pressing hem, friends, pressing hem. All right, I'm gonna give y'all an easy one. This is easy. This is easy, right? Oh, you can't hear me. Yikes. Hold up. Let me make sure we're up. Wait. Can y'all hear me? The sound is out. No, what happened? Let me try to refresh it and see what happens. I don't know what happens if yikes, that just turned my camera around. Are we back? Are we back, or do I need to stop and start another live? Hold up. I still hear some people saying no sound. Let me come over here to see what happens. And let me make sure I don't have any. Okay. I hear some people saying they can hear me, and I hear others saying that they can't. So if you can't, can you try to refresh and let me know if that works? Let me know if that works, friends. Because if it doesn't, if you all still say you can't hear me, I'll just close out of this live completely and then I'll come back in. I do feel like people were just saying, though, that they can still hear me. Okay. Okay, it's YouTube. Okay. Yikes. I don't know what's happening. They can probably go back. Okay. If y'all go back out, no, you still can't. Janine said she went out. Okay. Let's go out and come back in. We're at the halfway mark anyway. So this would be no sound still. Okay. Okay, so some people are saying they're jumping out and coming back in. Okay, so if you still can't hear me, please try to jump out and come back in and see if that helps. Maybe it was a little tweak or something. Okay. Jump back out and come back in and let me know, because I see people saying they went out and they're good now. Okay. Thank y'all. I appreciate that so much. Thank y'all for coming back. Thank you. Okay. Thank you for coming back. Yay. Okay. We can continue. Okay. Here we go. This one here, friends. I held this one up before the glitch happened. I feel like this is easy, right? This is easy. This is easy. Need or later. Need or later. We are back. We are back. Need or, okay. Need. This is easy peasy lemon squeezy. And here's another thing. I'm gonna be honest. You need more than, okay, I won't say more than one, but you will need to update this periodically. Okay, don't just get this and just keep it forever. At some point, you will need to update this, okay, because they stretch out over time, and your 1 inch will end up being an inch and a quarter. And who wants that? Okay, nobody wants that. All right, measuring tape you absolutely need. Don't pretend that you don't. Okay, do not even pretend that you don't. All right, another one. Moving on. Little small snips, do we need? Or is this something we can get later? Do we need little snippers? Or can we get these later? Need or later, friends? Need or later? I see a lot of needs. I see a lot of needs. I'm gonna be honest, when I first started, I did not get snippers. It wasn't until I started, you know, being at my machines, and I was like, wait, I need something over here, something small that's not as big as my shears. And yeah, once I got these, listen, I have 3 of them now. One at the ironing board, one at the serger, and one at the sewing machine. They are a need for me now. When I first started, not as much, but yeah, definitely need these now. Hello, Brittany. I'm finally able to make a live. Yay! I'm so happy that you caught us. Welcome, welcome. Later, especially if you're me. That's a good point. Later, especially if your sewing machine has a thread cutter. I love that. I love that point that you made. You can control them as long as you don't cut too much. Because let me tell you something, the blades, mess around and find out with this one, okay? Get too close and it all goes downhill. So you could definitely control the blade a lot better and only like get the thread that you need. So I agree with that. I agree with that. You got your snips later. Yeah. Okay. I'm enjoying this. If you are just tuning in, we did have a little glitch. So thank you all so much for coming back. But if you're just tuning in, today I'm holding up some sewing tools and you all are telling me if we need it or if we can get it later. This is to help those of us who are new to sewing just get a little bit more confident when you're shopping for tools. You can get what you need immediately and then you can see what you can get a little bit later. All right. This is an easy one right here. marking tools? Need. I'm gonna go ahead and answer that. Need. And you don't just need one, you need different ones. Okay? You need different ones because this chalk will probably not show up that really well on some tweed. This blue marking tool is not going to show up that great on denim. This chalk is like probably going to roll. I love this chalk, but she be getting real dusty. And I just be like, I don't want all that dust chalk everywhere, but I do like it though. So definitely you need marking tools, and I won't say buy all of them off the shelf, but you definitely need at least one or two. That chalk roller be doing the most, don't it? The yellow one, it just be having chalk everywhere. But I do love it. I love how it rolls. Yeah, I have multiples marking tools. I love, love, love them. They're fantastic. Okay, moving on, friends, because we're doing great. Y'all already know what this is. Good old safety pins. Are they a need, or can we get these later when you're just starting to sew? Think about the beginning sewing projects. We need, I mean, you may not need the pack like I got, but I agree. I think you need, in all sizes, I think you need these. First of all, this is just a household thing that we should probably have, just for the house, you know? But you absolutely need this when you're just starting to sew. A lot of the garments I think a lot of the garments geared toward beginners involve elastic. So instead of buying one of those is it bukin or bodkin? I have no idea how to pronounce that. But instead of buying one of those, you can just get a safety pin. Safety pin and pull that elastic right through. Cheap, inexpensive, and again, it's just how do you pronounce that? Bodkin? Bootkin? Don't y'all talk about me. It's just a household thing that you need, you know? It's just in the house, you know? How long are you doing the live for? I do the lives for 30 minutes here on Thursdays, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm just here for 30 minutes, really quick. I do not want to hold people up, but I do enjoy coming on here, just not only connecting with you all, but just trying to inspire you, especially if you're sewing, to use whatever time you have to make some progress. So yeah, I love sewing in 30 minutes, working out in 30 minutes, trying to cook real quick in 30 minutes. Like, listen, oh, they're negotiating for 45. Okay, next one. Excited for this one, but I think we already know the answer. These right here. Tube turners, strap turners. Is this a need when you're just starting to sew, or is this something that we can get later? A need, or is this something that we can get later? Okay, I see a lot of laters. I see a lot of laters. And why is that? Because I feel like we just all agree that chopsticks is a fantastic idea. Also, you can use your needle and kind of pull it through. This is not something that you need to splurge on. I don't know how expensive it is, but this is not something you need when you're just starting to sew. Even though a lot of beginner projects have straps, you can definitely pass on these in the beginning. You don't have to get them. You do not have to get them. Someone asked me if I made my cardigan. I did not. In my fabric haul raid at Mimi's house, she was also getting rid of things out of her closet. And you know what? I just so happen to have been there on the right day to receive some things, okay? Y'all know Mimi's on a weight loss journey, and so nothing fits her. But that worked out great for me because I love oversized things and they fit me. So it's a really long cardigan. I don't know where she got this from. I think it says "We are free," maybe Free People. I have no idea, but yeah. I not only got fabric from her, I also got clothes. All right, friends, next up, let's see. Oh, need, or can we save for later? We all know the answer to this. This is easy. This one is easy. Need, or can we save for later? Absolutely, immediately. And you all see I have multiples. It just, what? It's a need. You absolutely need these. And the more you have, the happier you'll be, because I guarantee you, you're going to put this down and you go back to it and somehow it's going to get legs and you're not going to be able to find it. It's just going to walk away. So you need another one that you can grab. So absolutely need these, okay? Seam rippers. Get a couple. Okay, get a couple. You can never find it. For some reason, the seam rippers have legs and they just randomly go places. It's like, where did it go? I just used it. I can't find it. Let me grab another one. So yeah, and they get dull. Very, very true. Seam rippers get dull. So it's important to update these. Ooh, this is also an easy one. Super easy. Let me see if I can hold them up here. This is an assortment of all types of hand needles. Hand needle assortments. Yikes. Need. Absolutely 1,000 times you need this. I'm gonna go back up because I think I saw a question. Don't forget to like, yes, please like the video, friends. Like, share. Again, I'm really hoping that this can help those who are new to sewing really narrow down on what to buy if you're just starting to sew, because it's a lot of things on the shelves or on sewing sections online that you don't need immediately when you're starting to sew. Coming up next, I'll let y'all be the judge. Rotary cutters. Do you need them when you're just starting to sew? Now, this could definitely be project specific. If you're a quilter, you might need it. Absolutely. If you are a garment sewer, you might not need it. When I started sewing with shears. It wasn't later until I discovered rotary cutters and I never went back. These are just some pretty trimmers at this point because I'm not cutting fabric with this. This is pretty trimmers when I'm trimming fabric, but I'm definitely not cutting out. I'll cut like a hard corner or something. Girl, give me these rotary cutters, okay? In different sizes too. I don't have the 60, but I have the 40. I have a couple 45s, and I think I have the tiniest one. Is that like a 30? Something like that? I don't know. Where's the best place that you can order denim online? That's a really good question. I've ordered denim from Blackbird Fabrics. I've ordered it from LA Finch Fabrics. I have, where did I order? I can't think if Fabric Wholesale Direct has some, but they probably do. Fabric Wholesale Direct, Mood Fabrics. Those are just a few that just came off the top of my head. Y'all remember fabric.com? Oh, I miss them. They had some great prices. They really did. Let's see. Brittany, I have a question about a pattern. Yeah, let's hear it. Latoya, type it in. I used some of the materials and smaller ones for paper. Okay. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything else later. I had a hard time with cutters. Yeah. They do make cutting faster and patterns, because this is my rotary cutter for cutting paper. I just have to have it. Okay, let's see what else is on the table, friend. Ooh. Y'all know what this is? A heat ruler or a hot ruler. Is this a need or can we get this later? I'm gonna go with later, but you all tell me. Yep. This is a hot ruler. You can definitely get this later. This is something that I got later. Do I love it now? Absolutely. So happy to have it. As you can see here, it has rulers here. It's really great to just kind of press up your fabric. Let's just do a quick test. So you can press up your fabric directly on the seam, the line, and press it, and I just love it. Again, I see someone says need. I see someone says need. But again, you can use, where's my little seam gauge here? You can use a little seam gauge here as well, just to kind of mark up your hem and press it. But I love this one. I love it. It's not a need if you're just starting to sew, but it's definitely something to kind of, you know, keep it in mind. Keep that in mind. You might need that. Listen, I got this from, I believe, Amazon, if I'm not mistaken. It's called a hot ruler. And yeah, it has little markings here. You could just fold up your hem for whatever the hem allowance is and go ahead and press that in place. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, let me go up. I have a question about being able to install an invisible zipper. Let's pop that question in. Let's pop in that question. Okay, sewing a linen suit from Nora Simplicity 9758. Buttonhole sewing. How do I figure out where to put the buttonholes? I'm feeling a tad bit lost. Let me see if I can, let me grab a laptop. Oh, I got a laptop. Let me grab my laptop so I can look at it really quickly. I don't know why I'd be forgetting to bring a laptop over here, but I'd be forgetting. Hold up, let me see. Let me go back up. 9758, 9758. 9758. Oh, okay. I actually have this pattern. So it's either on the front piece or the placket. Let me see. 9758, 9758. Let's find this pattern piece for you. I think I made this for my husband. I made my husband the pants. I didn't make him the shirt. Oh, I see the piece right here. Okay. So your buttonhole guide. Let me make sure I'm answering this correctly. Okay, so all you have to do is when you lay your buttonhole guide on the shirt, so lap it over. You have your buttonhole marking. You can easily just pop a pin right in that buttonhole and then transfer that marking to the other side, and you could put your button there. That's something that I do. Sometimes patterns will have a button kind of close up at the top of the buttonhole opening, if that makes sense. So you can just put your button, like put a pin right through the button, transfer that marking, and you can put your button there on the other side of the placket, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Let me know if that makes sense. So they gave you the buttonhole, and you can just put a pin through that buttonhole and transfer a marking to the other side. I'm trying to do it. Good grief, I can't even get, there we go. And then transfer your button there, and then sew your button on here. Let me know if that makes sense and if that was helpful. If anyone else has any other helpful tip, please share it. FYI, I saw a video from Bird. Oh, thank you for sharing that, Roz. Your seam gauge melted. Yikes. Yeah, the metal, you gotta be careful with that metal, with that heat. Do you always have to cut wovens on the grain line? It depends, because some patterns can have you cut it on the bias. Some will have you cut it on the cross grain. It is important to match it up with one of the lines. You either need to match it up with the grain line, you need to match it up with the cross grain, or you need to match it up with the bias. So, and that depends on the garment that you're making. So just, it has to be on one of the three, okay? That makes sense. So again, the cross grain, which is like if you have a border print, probably on the cross grain. If you have a bias cut garment, it's gonna be on the bias, and just the grain line parallel to the selvage. So one of those three, you should have that on. All right, Simplicity's on sale, yes. All right, I think we're all good, friends. See, listen, y'all be asking for us to extend the time. I feel like we're getting longer and longer. I see what y'all doing. I see what y'all are doing. But that is all, friends. Thank you all so much for tuning in for another Sew in 30 Live. I'm going to put all of these things that we said need in the description box to kind of help people when they view this video to see like things that we said or need and they should get now. And I'm also going to put things later in the description box, just so, again, trying to be helpful to help people just buy only what they need and not everything. All right. That is all, friends. I will see you in the next live. Blessings, everyone. Bye.